What's up? What's up? What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here of Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? Round one. So, fight fans, I'm gonna hit some of these things again today, just in case we get lucky. But anyway, so fight fans, we got a lot to talk about. I woke up this morning and heard, some promising news. Not everything sketched in stone, but I feel in the boxing world field, we're getting one step closer to this mega showdown between Jaron Boots Ennis and young, newly crowned unified world champion Xander Zayas from Puerto Rico. So this is a very, very big fight. We're gonna break down this fight. I want to know your opinions. And in fair competition to the best man who wins this fight. But what are they gonna say when Xander, you see the headlines? Yeah, I said it. What are they gonna say when Xander knocks out Jaron Boots Ennis? Let's talk about it. Yeah, I just said that. I said it. Come up here. Let's go. Let's get into it. Lock in. Front line. What it do? How I sound, front line? I got my mic on. Yeah, it seems like I got that one on. Everything's checking out. What's up, front line? Man, listen. You know this is a hot topic, front line, and hop on if you can, if you're at work or whenever. Let the chat gather up, and then you see it pile up. Um, or if you feel like talking about this, you can hop on at any time. You're more than welcome. So the thing is this. I've been getting a lot of feedback to this fight right here in particular. Even Bam Bam Boogie, one of my longtime subscribers to the channel, but not yet member. I'm not sure why, but that we'll discuss that on a later date. So, he's been talking about this fight, and this fight has been buzzing in the Latin community for a little time. It's been stirring up ever since we found out about the situation with Virgil Ortiz, Golden Boy, and the lawsuits being thrown around. And a lot of people felt like on both sides, they were accusing Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil of dragging their feet in negotiations of trying to put down together that fight in particular. Now it seems like the attention has focused to newly crowned unified world champion, young 23-year-old Xander Zayas. Now, truth be told, I feel that the Americans only want a shot at the young Puerto Rican champion because he is young. A lot of people in the boxing world feel that Xander is in a real good and fortunate to be in the position that he sits in today. They think that he did fight the great fights, but they don't view him as the best 154 pounder. Fighters view other fighters' paths and they start to judge it, not ever questioning, could they have pulled that off too? Quickly, the fighter's going to say, yeah, I would have beat him. I would have beat Conwell. Well, until we see that, we really wouldn't have a definitive answer. So in today's era of boxing, really virtually anybody's resume can be scrutinized. It could be scrutinized. But one thing for sure, no matter if you recognize the names on Jaron Boots Ennis' resume, those are professional fighters he fought, weren't they? They were licensed pro boxers, right? Okay, so I'll give them that much. Same thing goes for Xander. But in experience, boxing experience, I feel that the Americans want this fight because Jaron Boots Ennis has a current record of 35 fights with 31 big ways by knockout. He's measured at 5'10 with a 74-inch arm reach. Xander has a much greener resume, a much younger resume, where he only has 23 fights, right? 13 knockouts. 23 fights to 35 fights. No wonder you want to attack him. He's still young in the game, and at only 23 years old, they got him listed at 5'10 with a 74-inch arm reach. So according to BoxRec, they are identical in everything. Height, reach. Now all's left is just for them to fight. Because neither fighter, according to the box records, bring an advantage. It's all about footwork now, whose jab is faster, and who executes their game plan. Could Xander be beat in this fight? Yes. Yes. And from the outside, if I was to take away the fact that Xander's Puerto Rican, and I have a lot of hope in the young man, if I take my feelings and my emotion out of the fight, and I was to step back, I would say that Jaron Boots Ennis opposes a bigger threat. I think that he does a lot of slick stuff in the ring. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to set things up. He knows how to make reads. Jaron Boots Ennis' footwork is good. It's above good. It's above good. It's not the greatest footwork I've ever seen. It's there. The difference in footwork, right, is you can have great athletic ability, but not smart feet. You understand? I'm not sure if you understand that. Xander has smart feet in a way. His feet are older than what he is. Meaning, he makes it look simple. He doesn't waste a lot of movement. Xander, he gets right to the point. He cuts off the ring. He stalks you. But he's not in there doing all this. So, like, for a young fighter to do that, like, a lot of fighters, when they come out, they got like the jitters, the nerves are up, and they're moving around. They're trying to like get themselves together and they're doing, or if they get hit, big, and they start. Xander has that more Terminator approach. Boom, he gets hit big. Okay, and he starts walking forward towards you. He starts exchanging. You come in. Look, he controlled Perez with that jab. Controlled that man. What Conwell could not do. Now, we're not going to sit here, play this thing, but when I'm breaking down a fighter, I have to use what they did, right? So, no real attributes in this fight. The experience, I would say, is on Jaron Boots Ennis' side. Xander is the youngest. Well, he was the youngest champion for a while. Then Abdullah Mason beat him. Now I think he's the youngest unified, right? So, we were looking forward to trying to get another belt. But Jaron Boots Ennis, maybe the money, the kind of recognition this kind of fight can give you. See, because in a world where I think that the fighters and Ed Hearn, since he acquired Jaron Boots Ennis, a lot of fight fans didn't like that, being that the fact that Ed Hearns is a UK over there promoter, and they didn't think that he would promote Jaron Boots Ennis in a way that it was for the American viewing public. Well, in fact, he didn't do, I wouldn't say he did a great job. No. I'm not going to go that far. But he did put Jaron Boots Ennis in some pretty good Philly fights. He's been kind of like MIA since then. A lot of different reasons, but you can see where the people have given him the eye test. That's the only thing I can come up with. That the fans from his performances have said, no, he's the best next great thing. And you got, you know, these YouTube boxing channels calling him names like the Phenon, Jaron Boots Ennis. He's put boots to you. And that kind of fuels the fire to add to the image of that fighter. You know what I mean? When they start calling the fighter the monster, the monster? Who's called the monster? Because it's crazy because in a tradition, a long history tradition in boxing, it is tradition to get a nickname. The reason why we do this, because sometimes it's easier for somebody to remember your nickname than to pronounce a lot of these fighters' names. As you can see here at Round One Sports Talk, sometimes I've butchered a name or two, right? So, a nickname. But what happens when the nickname turns on you and goes wrong? Because they always do that. It's like, he'll come out and it'll be like, the KO Kid, right? And tonight, the KO Kid gets KO, and they'll take your nickname and they'll rock it. But that's tradition. You gotta honor, you know what I'm saying, back your name up. You can't be like called One Hook McGee and get out there and get one hooked. your name goes all right, but that's tradition things in boxing, you know? These like nicknames and shit. So like I forgot where I was going with that too. Yo, what up, Boogie? Front line, nasty work. What happened, Boogie? I don't want to hear excuses when Xander wins. What's up, Boogie? Listen, man. A lot of people underestimate Xander right now. They do. And in the division that they're in right now, right? For like, let's say, American fighters in the division at 154, how many American fighters are registered at the 154-pound weight division? Just American fighters. There are 353 registered American fighters in 154. Jaron Boots Ennis is viewed worldwide as the number one by BoxRec. That's what they're saying. And Xander, out of all the Puerto Rican fighters, out of 2,386 registered fighters in the division, in 154-pound division, there are 2,386 registered fighters. There are 16 registered Puerto Rican fighters in the division. Xander's number one worldwide in Puerto Rican fighters. So you got the number one in America, which is Jaron Boots Ennis, and you got the number one of Puerto Rico in the 154, which is Xander Zayas. So if you look at it that way, we got the number one Puerto Rican fighter fighting against the number one American fighter by consensus and BoxRec. Because when you go to BoxRec, you're going to notice they do have Xander number one. But you got to notice the Puerto Rican flag that's next to that ranking. And then when you look at Jaron Boots Ennis's, he has an American flag and the number changes. But the number in the division stays the same. The amount of fighters that are registered in professional boxers in one division is 2,386 fighters today, current, in one division. And they are the number ones for their country. That's what it is. It's America's number one and Puerto Rico's number one. We got ourselves a fight. If we get this fight popping right here, um, it's gonna answer a lot of questions. Me, Frontline, my co-host, we talked about this yesterday. It's no more that we think, is Xander ready for Boots? No, he has to be ready for Boots. He acquired 2 belts. Once you made that decision to leave the house and become a man, well, then you're going to have to become a man. That's it. You made the decision to hop into championship responsibility and everything that comes with being a world champion. People are going to attack you. You're going to get your, what was his name? Mr. T's character in Rocky when he invaded the press conference and he was like, tell your wife, she wants a real man, right? And Rocky was like, yo, and he was like, fight me, chump. You know what I mean? I can't remember exactly word for word what he said, but that's what comes with being a champion. There's always going to be that next dude, veteran, young guy. It comes in all forms, shapes, and sizes. But as long as you acquired those titles, you got to do championship. You have championship responsibility. Sometimes it's not always what you want to do. It's what it's going to benefit you. Also, at the end of the day, the most important thing, see, we're fans. For us, the most important thing is the fight. Let's just get the fight together. We're fans. But for the fighter, they have families. They have families to provide for. And sometimes some of these fights can be real lucrative. Big chances, everything on the line. That's where you got yourself to, Xander. And I'm not about to back down now. I'm not about to back down now. Look, picking guys in the sport is not personal. If Jaron Boots Ennis was fighting anybody else, I would go with Jaron Boots Ennis. But on this particular fight right here, I tell you guys, do not do this. Do not ever gamble or bet with your heart. The logical bet here would be Jaron Boots Ennis, if I'm speaking honest. But we're past that. I want something for my people, for my fighters. I want a guy to get 3 belts. And if getting through Jaron Boots Ennis is the way, well then damn it, we're going to put down Jaron Boots Ennis and we will be happy to hand him his first loss. Put him in the ring with Xander if you want it. Let's pop our shit. You got confident in your boy? I got confident in mine. The gloves are off. It is what it is. You trying to take what we got. Walk upon us and think if it's sweet. If you want. Win, lose, or draw. I ain't making no excuses for Xander. I ain't making no excuses for him. I'm saying straight up. I got faith in the man. He's been there his whole career in that weight division. All Jaron Boots Ennis has got 1 round of sparring, basically, in the division. I'm good. I'm good. Bring all that flashy style shit. All right? Bring it. Bring it. I'm going to tell you what. Boots still ain't been cracked by nobody at 154. By nobody. He didn't get cracked by that dude. Lima. Right? Yo, 147, 154, the ounces in the gloves do change. Cool. Cool. All right, Boots. All right. You're a real threat, Boots. I acknowledge that. But we ain't backing down, bro. We ain't backing down. And if the boxing gods really put this fight together, then I got Xander all day, twice on Sunday. Fuck it. Fuck it. You ain't gonna stop our dream. You ain't going, and we didn't get into sport to be scared. I don't believe it. There's no way on God's green earth anybody can sit here and tell me Xander shook of Jaron Boots Ennis. No, and Jaron Boots Ennis ain't shook of Xander. Jaron Boots Ennis is gonna bring it to Xander. Yeah, he's coming for them belts. I see what's going on. Not blind, but there's no time. We here. Whether you wanted to be here or not, Xander, you took the responsibility of them belts. That's it. He knows what he did. He knows exactly what he did. Yo, and I saw Xander's fights. I saw his opponents crack him flush. Flush. And Xander stood strong. Xander stood strong. And I saw when a good boxer that could place his shots gave Jaron Boots Ennis all kinds of problem. Karen. The second fight, he whooped his ass, but listen, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Win, lose, or draw, bro, I'm good with it. I'm good with the fight. I think the fight is good for boxing. I think that there's a lot on the line. If Xander needs to get past Jaron Boots Ennis to get another one of those belts, then shall be it. Listen, we'll whoop two Ed Hearn's fighters' asses. We don't give a fuck. Listen, we'll whoop Jaron Boots Ennis and then the other Ed Hearn fighters, Josh Kelly, that he has the IBF. Well, hey, if Ed Hearn just line your fighters up, that's how I feel. Whether or not Xander can pull it off, we're going to have to find out now, ain't we? Now, ain't we? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I got an opinion. You got an opinion. You like, yo, round one, you crazy. And this is going to wipe down Jaron Boots Ennis. I could already hear it. No shit, Sherlock. And you have the right to think that. You would probably be in the realm of like, a lot of people think that. But that's the one good thing about boxing, ain't it? You're going to have to show me. Show the world. Go ahead and listen. Yes, Jaron can do it. He can do it. But yes, Xander can also do it. Yeah, he can. And for everybody out there, like, this ain't no 50-50 fight. Yes, the fuck it is. Why ain't it a 50-50 fight? Why ain't it? You got your 147-pound champion with like 2 minutes of experience at 154. Why? Well, what? So, Frontline, what it do? What it do? Let's get up in here. Dan and Chess been popping off like that?
Yo, let me tell you something. Before we go any further, don't you
Huh?
can you hear me?
I got you. I got you. What's up?
Don't you fucking dare take my job on being biased towards Puerto Rican. Don't you
Yeah,
dare. That's my job.
that's
Only
your job.
I can be biased.
Listen, we gotta come together on this one.
Let me tell you something. This is what's
Fuck
gonna
that, bro.
happen.
I won 3 belts.
No, and I do too. But here's the thing. First of all, shout out to the chat. Um, this is definitely a hot topic. Now, like I tell everybody, I'm not discrediting Boots at all. I am praising him. Now, what I don't want, what I definitely don't want, is I don't want no excuses after Xander wins. I don't want to. I don't want nobody on the boot side saying, "Oh, that was just his second fight at 54. He should have got a tune-up before getting in," or "Oh, I always knew Boots was hyped." I don't want to hear none of that. Because right now, everybody's talking reckless that Boots is going to beat the shit out of Zayas. Zayas is not on that level. Zayas is food. Keep that same energy after that fight.
Yeah.
That's how I look
Yo,
at it.
read the chat. Read a little
I
bit of
got.
chat here.
And I'm gonna read all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Boogie in the building. He said nasty work because you don't answer your damn phone. Um, Ill Will says, "What up?"
What up?
Dwayne Styles, shout out to Dwayne. He says Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing.
He always says that.
Yeah, he always does. Yeah, he said, Clubber Lang, whatever that mean. Hit the like,
Oh,
says
Clubber Lane
Dwayne.
is the Mr. T character in Rocky.
Got
Clubber
you.
Lane. Go
My
ahead.
man Clubber Lang says, Ill Will. Dwayne, bet with your wallet. I'm going with Zayas. He's more fundamentally sound. Says, I'm precise. Boots is more flashy and athletic. That's about it. Ill Will says, about to be a couple more rounds of sparring. Yeah,
Wow. Okay. I got you.
yeah. Look at the ounces of the gloves when he fought a brew.
Hmm.
Boots beats Virgil. Virgil beats Zayas, and Zayas beats Boots. Says I'm precise. No
Mm.
fighters are shook. Says Ill Will. I just told you what I wrote in there. Zayas is ready. Says I'm precise. Yeah, he showed the chin against Abbas at the end. Says Ill
Yeah.
Will. Amir Carter says, in all fairness, I would say Zayas has more experience, but no doubt Boots is talented. It's a great fight for both guys. I wouldn't depend on drained ass Boots against Karen. Laughing emoji says, Ill Will. Zayas showed up for a Baz, and I was very impressed, says Amir Carter. I expect him to show up with Boots. Honestly,
Mhm.
should have fought Bakram as his first fight at 54, but he fought Lima. Shake my head.
Right.
Now, here's what I don't get.
Yo, that's crazy. Go ahead. Go
Now,
ahead, brother.
let me ask you this.
Yep.
I don't know the extent of Xander's contract with Top Rank, but do you think this is Xander's last fight with Top Rank?
No. No.
And
I
the reason why I say that is because Top Rank is known to throw their fighters to the wolves if it's their last fight, and I'm just shooting it out there.
no. It's first of all, it's almost impossible for me to think this his last fight when his last fight was for a belt, which makes it a 5 deal contract with Top Rank automatically. They've probably already had negotiated that with the first belt they got him. So you probably was in a fight with there. If you brought him another belt, what happens here? I think Top Rank went and locked him in behind closed doors. Now that's my opinion. I have nothing on that. I'm not sure what he could decide, but he's too young to think that for me. I think that when Top Rank has a star like this, they win, lose, or draw, you still have what Xander built after this being young. You still got a young fighter. I would keep him. You don't get that high of a fighter at this age. So those are the fighters you lock in because you can have
Now,
Xander for a long time. And Xander recognizes he wouldn't be where he's at without Top Rank. Top Rank got him that title fight. Top Rank got him the other fight. Without Top Rank, Xander's not the fighter he is.
now
No.
Boogie made a good how can I explain it? He said something in the group chat where he said that it's something to think about. Not saying that it's factual, but it's
Hmm.
something to think about. Where he
What is
said
it?
that it could be with this new DAZN Top Rank deal that
Mm.
they're trying to give Matchroom an opportunity at the other two belts so that they can have the three belts, meaning Kelly's with Matchroom, Boots is with Matchroom. It would have been easier to make a Boots versus Kelly fight
Yeah.
than
It's an
a
in-house
Boots.
fight.
Correct. So with the new deal, Matchroom could have said, "You want a zone deal? No problem. Give us Zayas." And in order to get the zone deal, Top Rank
Yeah,
said no
but
problem.
that's
That I mean, that's speculating. I get it. I get it.
no, but that's no, because look, Matchroom doesn't control the zone. The zone is a streaming platform. Matchroom is the promoting platform that promotes and a whole bunch of shit. It's the unboxing is just one of their projects. So Matchroom doesn't have the ability to tell the zone who to do business with. They can do business with anybody, as you can see. Turkey in the Ring stepped into Netflix without Jake Paul. So the streaming network is like Showtime or HBO. That's the zone. They don't, they're not governed by nobody. Just what do you got for me? Well, let's talk
Hold
business.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Backtrack that a little bit. Are you
Yep.
sure you're 100% positive that Turkey got that Netflix deal without MVP being involved in some way, shape, or form?
No, I don't believe that. Somehow, some way, behind some closed door, MVP had something to do with it.
Exactly.
But they're not being probably acknowledged. Maybe Jake Paul brought him to the right people to talk to and put it together. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that the only promotional company that has experience with Netflix is Jake Paul. So
Right.
Netflix is looking to branch out too. They want to stay in the game because they see a monopoly, the zone. Everybody's there. Golden Boy, now Top Rank, Ed Hearn, Frank Warren, you name it. Pretty soon, the zone's gonna have a monopoly on boxing. They're gonna be able to charge us whatever the fuck they want. The bill's already 500
Yeah.
for a year.
Hey,
So,
shout out to Sam Squash.
mhm,
Ill Will says, "Yep, you're 100% right." But yeah, Top Rank usually does put you in a belt contract option. Then Amir says Eddie Hearn was talking about giving Kelly a tune-up at home. When this man has a belt, he should be trying to unify. The
mm,
Ill Will says the zone is battling Sufa. The zone buys into whoever they sign. The zone
mhm.
can control who fights, hence pushing Virgil versus Boots. Could be the same with Top Rank. So I mean, dude, there's a lot of shit going around. One
Right.
thing that I'm not gonna allow, the same way you're not allowing, is Xander's not putting up any excuses. Xander wants the smoke.
No, shout out to Xander. Let's give credit to the young man. You got to admit, if he takes this fight, it's because he took the fight. He's legitimately giving Jaron Boots Ennis an opportunity at two belts. So acknowledge that part first. Xander can say no. In a world that everybody's calling people ducks and all the scrutiny, you know that you're gonna hear all this shit. But fighters do it all the time. Richard Hitchens pulled out on a fight. A lot. Doug flew.
Here we
What happened
go.
with Schofield? There's a lot of situations. So Xander's
Johnny, I
saying
fuck with
no.
you, Johnny. Johnny, I fuck with you.
What's up?
Johnny from the Hangout
Fuck,
Spot. He
fuck
says,
the
fuck the doubters. Let's go Xander.
yeah, baby,
Zayas
all
all
day.
day.
Yeah, yeah. There's the support coming in. Listen, so I'm just saying, Xander could have said no. I mean, the next step would have probably been, I guess, Jaron Boots Ennis will go to the WBA being the regular champion. He would have to get the WBA to be on his side and I guess order the fight and we'll be back at that situation. But no matter what, Xander could avoid. Now, let me ask a question I wanted to hop on and I ask all of you. Is there going to be a problem if Xander says you got to go to Puerto Rico if you want to fight me? Do you really think Jaron Boots Ennis would go to Puerto Rico like Liam Paro did. Where Liam Paro said, I don't care where we fight. You could put the ring on the moon. I'm fighting Subriel Matias. Does Jaron Boots Ennis have that much confidence in himself? Can he do what other fighters have already done? Now, is that going to be a problem? And then, if he really wanted to smoke, Xander says, since I'm giving you the opportunity, I get to pick the location. It's only right. And
I
I
don't
got the
think
two belts.
I don't think Boots will have a problem like Virgil. Virgil
Mm,
made a million and one excuses. I don't think Boots will have a problem fighting in
shit.
now.
Where's
Now,
Boots' furthest fight? Hold on.
probably
It,
Philly,
huh?
probably in Philly. But I see. I agree with Elwood. Yo, shout out to Jason too in the building. D1 in the building. Um,
Washington.
I think. I think Boots will go to PR.
Damn,
Now the
Boots
question
ain't
is,
never left America.
no,
Atlanta City and Philly is basically his home.
that's exactly what I said. Now you know where I think this fight will be big at, you'll capture the American people where the big crowds are, and the Puerto Rican people would be in New York, whether it's Barclays Center or MSG.
Mm,
I think that'll be the best place, money and revenue wise. Puerto Rico, I don't think you'll sell as you'll sell, but you're not gonna get the crowd you really want. I think where the money to be made for that type of fight would be either
mm-hmm.
in Madison Square Garden or at Barclays Center in New York. You can't take it to Vegas, you can't take it to California, you can't take it to Texas because those type
And,
now
and
now
and why
now
would you take it to Philly?
no, not Philly, not
I
Philly.
know, no, I'm saying just thinking out loud. And why? And that's not gonna happen. So
If you
New.
go to Philly, I don't think they have a big enough arena that'll host the amount of people that'll show up for that fight.
Mm,
I think Barclay and because the Philly people would travel to New York
mm-hmm,
to support Boots. You get what I'm saying? The
mm,
people from Puerto Rico would fly out to New York to support Zayas. Not to mention the population of Puerto Ricans in New York,
mm.
Philadelphia, etc.
Sometimes it could be worse fighting in your backyard because of the pressure. But actually, with Xander answered that question for us against Baru. Yo, I think a lot of people. I'm not familiar with Abbas Baru, but when I saw his technical boxing ability against Xander, I was impressed. And Abbas Baru went in there to try to take the belts that night. You can see it. He didn't go there to fucking lay down. That was a real tough fight for both guys, and Xander pulled it off. So I think that as far as fighting in different countries and shit, Jerome Busenis never did that.
Hey
I
yo,
can say, yeah.
it, the IBF is in a new business now. You heard about that, right?
No, what's going on?
Breaking news.
Well,
Oh, their fighters are starting to babysit now, like Josh Kelly. Like Josh Kelly, they just babysitting titles now. They started a new business, and fuckers. Yo, Eddie Hearn is gonna do everything in his powers to keep Josh Kelly away from
nah,
Xander.
nah, yeah, miss me with the bullshit, Ed Hearn, right? When he was like, "Oh, I want to give Josh Kelly a tune-up fight here because he had a tough fight with Bakram and shit." And I'm like, "Man, you didn't give two shits when Liam Paro came out of that fight with Subriel Matias. You threw him in with Richard Hitchin. Like, you didn't give two shits about that Australian dude. But all of a sudden, your guy, he did get knocked down in the fight.
And what title does Richardson Hitchin hold?
The IBF,
Exactly.
yo, he just got a bunch of guys that are like holding on
Yeah,
to it.
they boxers full time, babysitters part time. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, man, Ed Hearn, he's a promoter. He's a shark.
Hey,
Um,
D1. He says Xander got the best win at 54 with Abaz. He beat Tellez,
he got
who
two of the best wins. You
who was
gotta
the
acknowledge Perez, Chino
no,
Perez.
that's what I was gonna get to. That's what I was gonna get to.
Yeah,
Because before Abaz, he fought Chino Perez, who actually beat Charles
Conwell,
Conwell, who was the quote unquote
the number one,
the boogeyman of
the one.
54.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So he beat the man that beat the man. Remarkably, ain't that how you get your status for the ring belt? When you beat the man that beat the man, but when he does it, no, Perez wasn't shit.
and
You
that's
acknowledge your whole power of that
uh
ring belt is doing exactly what Xander did. He beat the man that beat the man to become the man. How don't you award him by doing that? Boxing is subjective, man. I tell you.
now ill will. I gotta agree with that statement. I truly think, but here's where it's gonna backfire. He's
Mm-hmm.
saying they're building the IBF in UK for Boots to go there, and Hearn cashes out and keeps the belts, builds his fighters. It's business. So I agree with that, but here's a the Achilles heel to that. What happens if Xander beats Boots?
Oh, he is.
What's gonna happen then? So he's building the IBF so he can have an opportunity at either Boots getting the IBF and keeping the WBA when he beats Zayas, or
He can't have the IBF. Zayas has the WBO and the WBA.
but he still has the IBF with Josh Kelly.
Ed
We're talking
Hearn.
about
You're
Eddie
talking
Hearn, Eddie
okay.
Hearn, Eddie Hearn. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So he's building the IBF in UK. That's
Yep.
fine and dandy. So when Zayas beats Boots, then he's got no choice but to put Josh Kelly
Mm,
against Zayas, or is he going to continue babysitting the belt and find for another a weaker link? You get what I'm saying? Like his
no, that's definitely what he's going to do. Um, the word
because
keep away in boxing is a real thing.
Zayas right now called out. He called out Kelly. He wants to fight Kelly. I
Yep,
don't know. I don't see why that fight can't happen because they both fought the same day. Kelly fought Bakram early morning.
that's
Zayas
right.
fought in that evening. So they got the same amount of rest. The same amount of rest.
Yep.
That fight could happen for a unification,
Yo,
which
that's
would be
crazy.
bigger than
No,
Boots
but
legacy.
you're putting all the pressure on Xander and giving him shit about fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. But great point. Front line. They fought the same day.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, you're allowing Ed Hearn to let Josh Kelly slide out the back door with no scrutiny. Now all the approach and all the focus shifts off Josh Kelly and onto Xander. Why you ain't fighting Jaron Boots Ennis? Which Ed Hearn believes that if you were to have to judge the two fighters, Jaron Boots Ennis is a slightly more dangerous. So you want to put your best foot forward to get those two belts into your stable. Now Ed Hearn would have the IBF, the WBA, and the
and the W.
WBO
Yep.
separated between two fighters. So now Ed Hearn would actually have three pieces of the belt. So careful on which piece you move on the chessboard first. Do you want to take your champion first and put him against the other champion? Or do you want two shots at him? put Jaron Boots Ennis first. We might just win this one. But if he beats this guy, I got another shot right here. Or I could put my tail between my legs and run for the hill because there's really no rule but the fans and the noise and the money that and the desire if both fighters have the same goal in mind. The stars gotta line up, kinda. You don't. Josh Kelly's only responsibility actually is to the IBF ranking system. All he really has to do is fight is mandatory. Then he gets to pick within the top 15 of the ranking or who he wants to fight. He could
Yeah, he
hold
gets a.
on to that belt until somebody beats him out there. That's called running for the hills. He
Hey,
does not have to fight Xander.
no, he don't. Who is ranked in the top five for the IBF at 54? If you don't mind me asking. A D
In
top five for the
the
IBF.
top five,
Yeah. A
you
D
got
one.
Brandon Adams, right? You got Casa Keen.
I don't even know why I asked you when you butcher names. Let me get.
Yeah, yeah, and then you got Bakram.
Let me check. Well, Kelly already beat
Bakram's like,
Backlund,
yeah, but you know that the IBF always has the number one and number two vacant. So it basically starts at number three, which is
yep.
Brandon
Brandon
Adams.
Adams, Aguiaco.
You see, you say the name. Say you see you messed it up too.
Dude, I've been hanging around you too long.
Yo, that name
Um,
is crazy.
and then you got Zoo, Nikita Zoo. So is that Tim Zoo's brother or something like that?
I don't even think I don't know. I forgot about that.
But where I'm getting at with this is D1 says Alexander, but he ain't beating no Boots.
Mm,
Whoever beats Boots got to show me. I've always said it here. I've said it since day one.
yep.
In my opinion,
Yep.
Xander beats Bakram,
Hmm.
Xander beats Virgil, Xander beats Fundura. The only one that I see giving Xander trouble, but I still got him beating him, is Boots. I've always said it. I don't discredit Boots at all. Boots is a hell of a fighter. His footwork is crazy, but big butt. D1. I fucks with you, my boy. I don't want to hear no excuses after Xander whoops Boots' ass. I don't want to hear that, oh, his record was padded or he should have got another tune-up fight or none of that. But let me see. Then he's in the same boat as now. So it comes down to Hearn is picking Boots over Kelly to take them belts. Ill Will says Kelly makes more money with less risk and sending Boots to take the belts. Brandon Adams is fighting for Mando in April. Okay, so he's fighting for a mandatory in April.
Mm.
But I think the fight to do. Fuck, this cough got me all fucked up. The
Mm.
I think the fight to do would be Kelly versus Zayas,
Mm.
and then sending Boots in there. I think here's what they should do. They should have Virgil fight Boots, right?
They should have Virgil fight Josh Kelly. If they can get
No,
Virgil to fight Josh Kelly, I
no.
think that maybe Virgil will fight Boots then and Xander. Or do you feel that boxing would be in a worse place and you think Virgil would run with that belt?
Well, Virgil's been ducking a lot. So can
A
you
lot.
imagine if he gets a belt?
Yeah. Then
That
he just
it,
turns into a
it,
duck.
it- he'll be a certified babysitter at
We'll
that
be
point.
duck hunting. Where'd
Yeah,
he
for
go?
real.
Yo, go get
but but
him.
here's my landscape. I don't know because I've also heard rumors or somebody mentioned something about Fundura said that he has no interest in unifying. How true that is, I didn't hear it myself.
Hmm.
It's just people been saying that he said that. So if that is true, then what I say is we could get Virgil versus Boots, right? To get that hype out the way. Then we could have Zayas versus Kelly.
Okay.
The winner of Boots versus Virgil fight the winner of Fundura versus Thurman. And then obviously Kelly or Zayas will be unified. And
Hmm.
then the winner can fight for an undisputed match. I think that'll be a good landscape
Mm.
for 54. But then if we got fighters like Fundura saying they have no interest in unifying, we have a problem.
You really think one time Keith Thurman can upset Sebastian
Absolutely.
Fundora?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And
What do you guys think about that?
I'm not saying based on skill level. I'm
Yeah.
saying based on experience.
Hmm. You think that he can lull that 6'6" giant to sleep enough to loop that shot, and that he has the speed, and like I seen him hit in the bag. He looks good. He got good speed, and that he was moving the bag, so you can see the powers there. It's just you gotta land it. What good is that punch if you can't land it? Now, yeah, man. A few years ago, I would have Keith Thurman in this fight. A few years ago, the big gap in between activity and the level of the guys you chose to fight, um, sways me in the side of Sebastian Fundora in a tough fight like this, where that I once remember the fighter that Keith Thurman was, but acknowledge the activity of Sebastian Fundora. And I'm gonna have to go with the activity on this one. I think that Sebastian is an active champion. Um, I've seen Tim Zoo get knocked out, but I never seen Tim Zoo quit. Um, to make a guy say uncle, that's embarrassing. You mean to tell me, you knocked me out in a ring? You knocked me out. I couldn't quit. You had to knock me out, my lights out in order to end the fight, because that's how far I was willing to go. But for a man to concede and say no mas, bro, he just made you say uncle in front of the whole world.
Yeah, but Keith has been in there with the best of them.
Look, I don't take that away from Keith, but
And
you
I'm
you
not
kind
taking
of
nothing away from Fundura either.
you gotta acknowledge that one of the best he's been in there with was Manny Pacquiao, and he couldn't beat him.
Did Manny Pacquiao knock him out? I forgot that fight.
Nah, but he put him down. Remember when Manny Pacquiao came over the top and dropped one time Keith Thurman in the fight? So look, and that wasn't even like the real version of Manny Pacquiao. I understand who Manny Pacquiao is, but still, that wasn't young. Remember leading into the fight.
But wasn't that
What?
fight at 47 though?
Uh,
Or
hold up.
40?
I gotta look it up. I think it was 47, and he said, "I'm gonna crucify you." And Keith Thurman came with like this thing with thorns and shit. He started getting religious, um, making like comments towards Manny Pacquiao, and that he was gonna yeah, crucify the old man. And he talked mad shit, Keith Thurman. I remember that. We was like, yo, Keith, like,
So you speaking of that right now, where
Yep,
he came out with the thorns, like kind of like Jesus did when he got crucified, right? You're telling me Keith Thurman is a master at fucking with your head.
that's okay.
Can Fandera withstand the shit talking and the heat?
Yep,
No, I doubt it.
yep.
I
There's been a
doubt it.
lot of fighters. Look at Lubin. They
You know,
all
you know, you
talk
know.
shit
No,
to.
but you know why I say that? You know why I say that? Because when Xander confronted Fandera for a face-off, Fandera was stuck on stupid. He didn't know what to do. He looked at his sister, and Gabriella had to take charge and say, "Let's go to the locker room. You're not gonna face off."
Well, okay,
When
check
you're
this out.
when you're put on the spot, and Keith is known for doing that.
No, 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 no. Okay, Gabriella is internet savvy, right? And the thing is, nowadays, I'm not sure you saw this or whatever, but there's been interviews with any basketball players and shit, and they'll ask them stupid questions. Hey, what's your favorite food? And he was like, "What you think?" He looked at the person and said, "You setting me up? No matter what I say, social media is gonna roast me." So Gabriella knows that every situation, every encounter with other fighters has to mean something because social media is gonna take that and run with it. They're gonna make it look like Xander just punked them. Look, blah blah blah. They're gonna get a whole bunch of reels. Zariella is smart when it comes to um uh your 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 uh your PR team. So Gabriella takes care of all that for her family. If it wasn't scheduled to have a face off, there's nothing free here. Keep moving. She's on point with her team. Gabriella gives you nothing. She's a beast. Nothing free around here. No free shots. No innovative um media clip for you. Nothing. Whatever my brother's involved in, it's in the schedule. She's all business. And then when you look at Sebastian Fundora not wanting to pay sanctioning fees and only wanting to be a one belt champion, it's remarkable when your sister has all four belts. So she knows what it's like to pay the sanctioning fees for all four. So the family's not new to this. Maybe it's just her brother deciding, I don't want to pay all those. I'm good with just one. When they live a modest lifestyle. Have you ever seen Sebastian Fundora in a boxing, um, like kind of like a slash documentary leading into his fight? A lot of people have made fun of him. He's like legitimately got his same jacket he had in high school. He works out in these same shirts. He didn't spend money on anything extra. Matter of fact, he has some clothes on that his mom made him. He was like, my mom made these pants right here, and this dude got money. Gabriella got money. They done turned their garage into a boxing gym, and now you see the place where they're at. Like, he was brought up very well, young man. Nothing flashy. Doesn't impress him. Doesn't impress him. He's look at that three-piece suit on. He looked like he got it out the Goodwill. But when we're talking about the fight and the possibilities here, here's where I think the problem's going to come for one-time Keith Thurman. Here's where the problem is. Where are you going to find sparring partners that are 6'6", that can box, that are not basketball players, that can imitate Sebastian Fundora? You're basically going to go into the ring with him on that night and be confronted with that problem. You'll prepare, you'll train, you'll try to execute. But to tell you the truth, unless you found some 6'6", 160, 80-pound guy that can actually emulate Sebastian Fondora's intensity, punch output, at least some of his mobility, where are you going to find that? So I think of all of this and the fights that Keith Thurman's had since 2019 to now at 2. Come on, man. I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this. I'm like, no, Keith Thurman, you're actually going to go into the ring. Not until you're face to face with Sebastian, you're going to realize the situation you're in. Just like Tim
Hey,
Zoo.
your manager wants me to catch up with the chat.
Go ahead. Hey yo, get that
I-
dispensary filled up. There's no soaps and
and toilet
station
paper,
3.
toilet paper's low.
It's low. Come on.
I'm precise. It says Zayas has the tools to beat Boots. Fundamentals wins fights. Boots only does good against flat-footed people. Says I'm precisely. Virgil gonna fight Fundera for the WBC, and Ring says ill will. The slick Puerto Rican style will give him problems. Says precisely. Pug says fight should get the green light. Proper launch for the zone top ranked matchroom. Forget Virgil fight. Golden Boy relationship in shambles. It's Boots versus Zayas next. Easy. Carcass says I'm leaning towards Boots. Boots got too much skill for Zayas. Ill Will says I'm taking Thurman. Pug says Zayas versus Boots is a 12-round controversial decision fight. Pay attention to your live bets when it happens.
All right.
I don't know Keith gonna have a problem with Fundera, says Jason. Fundera gonna beat up Thurman, says Carcast. Thurman can't beat no Mexican, says Carcast. Zayas, Zayas versus Boots might be controversial like Bivol, better BF one, says Pug. Boogie says Keith has the power to knock Fundera down or even out if he lands it. Ill Will says ring IQ, speed, power. He's good mid and outside, keeping Fundera turning. Tim Zoo was shot to shit, says Ill Will. Thurman was battling a lot of injuries after the Garcia fight. He wasn't too healthy. Boogie says, why no one is asking why is Zayas versus Boots being rushed? Whatever happened to building up a fight? And why is Top Rank being forced to sacrifice their young champion to a much more experienced Boots? Jason says, Keith is good in his first few rounds, but he does gas out a bit when he fought Danny Garcia. Keith was on his
Yes.
bicycle the last few rounds.
Yes, he was.
Fundora got a torn bicep, says ill will, and then your manager says read the chat.
Listen. All right. Look, that yes, he does. That torn bicep shit. The fight was postponed this time because the injury was on Sebastian Fondora's side. Remember, like one time Keith Thurman pulled out of the Tim Zoo fight, and they showed him with the shoulder arm band on, and he talked about the surgery. So that was on Keith Thurman's side at that time, but this time it's actually on Sebastian Fondora's side, the injury. So okay, will that play a factor? I don't think so. I think he scheduled the fight because his doctors told him you would be healed up by this time. You would be ready. This is not a guessing game at this point. These are world champions. This is a world title fight. And the new, oh, well, where are they fighting at? Keith Thurman and them. The athletic committee from whatever city or town they're fighting in has to approve Fundora and pass his physical. So they're aware of the bicep because it was reported because he had to pull out on the first date. So they're very aware of the injury. They're not just going to go on his word. He's going to have to pass the physical and the time frame that whatever an injury like that, the athletic committees dealt with these things. They know they okay, it's gonna take 4 to 6 weeks on average to heal this muscle, and you're gonna need from here to here to here. They've already worked out the particulars. So since the fight is a go, I think Sebastian is he's ready. And to everybody in the chat, I don't think Keith is gonna have a problem with him. You guys are saying, and I hope you heard me, bro. Until he's face to face with him, he's not gonna fully realize what he's up against. It's one thing to see a guy that tall. It's another thing to be fighting a skilled fighter that tall that also knows how to block. What you think? Sebastian Fundora got knocked out and didn't learn nothing? Oh, Brandon Mendoza is actually fighting on that card with Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora, the guy that knocked him out. He's fighting on the card. So, you know, Sebastian Fundora, he's a professional boxer and he's a world champion. 2 time. I think he knows how to block now. Whether or not Keith can sneak one in there, I don't think you actually trained for that. I don't see where you're finding these guys 6'6", 6'5", Flacco that can box. If you can find that, that guy should be fighting. You done found the next star. I don't see where Keith, anybody, really properly. It's basically, you're gonna need Salah's fucking shoes and to be standing on a chair. Throw the hook up here. Bow, bow. So you're just relying on basically him winging a shot. And Sebastian Fundora, his father, Gabriella, no, for fighters that tall, that's their kryptonite. He's got to be aware of this. He's got to be. Whether or not he can connect early. But Sebastian, man, he's got that body work. That long fucking arm just walks down there, turns the corner, and yo, literally, he can jab you. They'll be like, round one. Keith Thurman be like, damn, I ain't got out the corner yet. Like, that motherfucker, he's on the other side of the ring. That's got to be a problem. When we talk about boxing, guys, come on, guys. When you bring attributes, like, if you fight Tank Davis, any fighter in the world, and you bring the same attributes, you're gonna have a problem.
Well,
Lamar Rhodes did good, right? And Esau was shorter than him, so that was his advantage. That was what he brought to the table. He was actually shorter. Tank couldn't get underneath him with his famous uppercut. He couldn't do it to it. That he kept hitting him on the top of the head because Esau was so short. So that's a quality. You understand? But when you bring like Jaron Boots Ennis and Xander, they're equal. 5'10", 5'10", 74-inch arm reach, 74-inch arm reach. You don't bring that, but what is Keith Thurman? What is he, 5'10" and 6'6"? What's Sebastian Fedora's arm reach? Hold up, we gotta get this. It's like 109.
but Ill Will says the bicep can pass, but his arm is going to be slower. If
Or
Thurman
maybe he don't
punches,
got punching power. That's an interesting.
and then what he also said was if Thurman punches him in that arm a couple times, will it have an
Ooh,
effect? Is where I
strategy.
was going. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
Hey, I'm not telling him to do it, but boxing's a dirty sport. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Boogie says, I recommend everyone to
God
go
damn.
watch the Sean Zickles interview about the Zayas versus Boots fight. He breaks it down in layman terms. Lamest.
Okay.
Aprende a escribir, Boogie. You got
Listen,
me
let me tell you
reading up here
something.
like Edwin. You got me
Yeah, they
sounding
don't
like
got to go
Edwin.
anywhere. They're already here. Um, Look, Sebastian Fundora is 28 years old. He has a record of 23 fights with 15 knockouts. He has one loss where he was knocked out in the fight by Brandon Mendoza. Okay. They
Which,
have
by
him
the way,
listed here
Mendoza's fighting Joannis Tellis on that card.
on that card. Yes, tell us. There you go. Okay. So they got him listed at 6'5.5". He's 6'6", right? His arm reach is 80 inches. Damn. 80 inches. So what is Keith Thurman? Let's check out Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman. One time, baby. One time Keith Thurman. They do not have his age. He's listed at 5'9.5". He's actually shorter. Uh
Jason
he
ain't
has
shit.
30 he has 31 fights with 23 knockouts and one loss, and his hairline is back here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he got a 5 head.
Yeah,
Yo,
he's got a
Keith Thurman versus Fundora is gonna be like Bruce Lee versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
yes.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go. There
Jason
you
ain't
go.
shit for that one.
Yo,
Oh
listen.
shit.
He has a 69-inch arm reach, under 70. 69. Sebastian's arm reach is 80. You got a problem on your hands, my man. You're 5'9", and you know how they lie? They make themselves a little taller. So he's probably really 5'8". And Sebastian Fundora, he's trying to make himself shorter. No, I'm like 6'5.5". You're really 6'7". You know what I'm saying? 6'7". Yo, 69-inch arm reach, orthodox boxer, 5'9", against 6'5", 80-inch arm reach. Y'all think that shit is easy? Until you're in the ring with him. And you want to know something? The crazy thing is fucking Sebastian used to fight like he's a guy 5'9". He used to get real close to the guy. He has a chin. Sebastian Fundora got a beard. I think Brandon hit him on the button. He just said, doo, doo, going down, ding, ding. Yo, he felt like a tree. Sebastian
Yo,
acknowledged it. He
you said
knew
his reach is what? 80 what? 88?
80, just 80.
Oh, 80.
It's 80.
Damn, that's almost 7 feet. Think about it.
Damn, from length to length.
Yeah, that's almost seven
Damn.
fucking feet, bro.
He has almost a 7 feet arm span.
Yeah, because 7 feet is 84 inches.
He's 4 inches off from 7 feet. Man, he's gonna punch
Dude,
your head off.
that's a dude.
Yo, y'all think that this shit is man? Keep thinking. Keith Thurman is going in there just fighting a Brock Jarvis or something,
And
or like a regular fighter.
the crazy part is that Fundora likes the inside game. With a
He
reach like
used to.
that, with a reach
He,
like that, he should be utilizing that jab
nah,
and
he's utilizing it now. He's been changing his style, but you gotta acknowledge, if you think Keith Thurman, his whole game plan is getting close to this giant to throw that overhand shot, you got to remember that if you walk in there, Sebastian Fundora is going to give you that fire. That's his game too. In order to sit on the inside, Sebastian won't let you do that. He's a veteran in that style of fighting.
I think the body work is gonna be Keith Thurman's best plan. And
Well,
like what Ill Will
yep.
said too is go after the arm.
And remember, where there's risk, there's sacrifice. You throw a punch, Sebastian Fundora is going to dig to that liver. You're gonna trade a shot, and he's gonna give a shot. Remember that. You're gonna want him to get to Sebastian's body. If he dips under to Sebastian's body, 2 shots for Sebastian right there. The uppercut on the inside and the overhand shot to the side of the head. That's what you give up there. If he decides to go upstairs, he's going to trade that for Sebastian's body shot, right? For the shot upstairs. So on the inside, it's a give and take, right? Are you good enough to hit, block, shot, swerve, boom, boom? That we got to see. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I think Keith Thurman's in a lot of problems. I think he got a I think he might get stopped. I actually think Keith Thurman's gonna get stopped in this fight. Yeah. Listen, lock in here. We gonna tune in. The Notre Dame's belt is on the line, baby. It's on the line. All right. We putting up the title. I'm about to make another title defense because I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna tell you my pick because Boogie's waiting in the back lurking. You know what I'm saying? Boogie wants credit for shit he says to us on the What's Up channel. And he's like, yo, tell the people that I said this. I said, nah, unless you come up here and stand on it, come up here and stand on it like everybody else. We
Hey,
all
he's getting
gotta
transferred
stand on our
to
decisions.
he's getting transferred to shipping and receiving
Yo, that's it. He's got
because
to
there's
because
nothing to do back there, which he does nothing, so he'll fit right in.
can
He said, "Can you
you
play
play
a
that?
part of the Sean Zittle's interview?" Tim was landing the shit out of the overhand in both fights. I like this fight. Fandura looked good shooting them straight hands, and he's a monster inside. I hope Fandura wins.
What up? What up? How do you say his name? School
Sulaiman.
Sulaiman. What's up?
Uh, I was breaking down another show I was in last night. I think the situation with Xander's gonna have to box because the guy's durable, man. The guy could take shots.
Mm,
He's showing it to people that he got a chin, man. Because he's smart. He know what Jaron is real smart in there. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Jaron Ennis could box and move. Xander's gonna have to box. Like what he did in his two pro fights when he won titles, he just boxed. Those guys were durable. Jorge Garcia was a durable fighter when he won the WBO, and then when he fought Abbas Barua, he was a durable fighter too. So he had to box and move and basically use his boxing skill to win the fight. He's gonna have to do it again here, but he cannot make mistakes because if he's reckless or he does a reckless mistake, Jaron makes you pay for that.
Mm.
You agree, right?
How do you
I
see the fight playing out yourself?
Okay, I see they're both educated boxers. Um, Jaron Ennis could do it all. He could box because he showed it to us when he fought Stanionis. He could box. He got a nice jab. He could move. I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to try to do. And then he's going to see. He's going to gauge the speed of a Xander. He's going to see how Xander deals with it. With if he could frustrate Xander because that's what he did to East Stanionis. He frustrated him because he was boxing and he was
mm,
boxing on a back foot. So Stanionis got frustrated, and you notice that he started trying to act like a Marciano, like going in there and slugging, and that's where he created a knockout. So if Xander doesn't fall for that trap and doesn't get frustrated, and could box and doesn't tunes him out, where his game that he plays, I think Xander could win the fight. But if Xander falls into that trap, it could be an early night because the guy he waits for you to make a mistake and he avalanches like the last fight where he fought Ismail Lima. Lima tagged him with a left from a southpaw left, and he was reckless. And Sergio Moro even said it. The guy is reckless. He makes mistakes even before the fight, and he did exactly what Sergio Moro did. He threw a left, didn't bring his hands up. He got
mm-hmm.
caught And then the guy gave him an avalanche of punches, and he kept dropping him till he knocked him out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do that with Jaron. You can't make mistakes. You gotta be on your A game, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of guys don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I say about Jaron Boots Ennis, right? The one of the things that I mean, sorry, the same that I say things about Xander, right? And the thing that I say about Xander is he does a lot of the fundamental things over and over. He stays disciplined in the fact that he brings his hands back. He doesn't throw a lazy jab. He makes sure that his when he throws the jab is sharp, powerful. He knows how to use the jab for multiple weapons. Whether he's using it for a rangefinder, he's working off the jab, or he's doubling up the jab. Xander has an educated jab, but what I've always said about Xander that I really noticed is that his technical boxing ability. He has like an old boxing soul where that he's not flashy or anything like a Jaron Boots Ennis, but what you got to understand, he's not wasting movement. He's not doing extra shit that younger fighters would be in there burning energy. And by the eighth, ninth round, he showed that in fights like Perez, Asbaru, where he really managed his situations in the fight because there's going to be moments where you ever see that moment in the fight where he says, the guy's going to attack you this round. He's really going to come after you this round. Even the coach feels it. And you know you got to fend off that attack because now that guy's down on the scorecard. There are going to be these moments and these situations in fights. Xander was prepared, properly trained.
He got signed by Top Rank at 16. He came from San Juan because he was being broken down. They were breaking down his history in another show. The
Yeah.
guy from 16, he got signed in for Top Rank. So they invested a lot of time. They trained him good. The kid's real skilled. So now that he's a champion, they want to capitalize on that. So if they're making this fight now with Jaron, it's for a reason. They see something in Jaron that they could. I think, but basically, you got to box Jaron. You got to box Jaron, and that's what Xander's going to do. He's going to box him.
Here's what you see. Here's what you see. Right? There's two worlds in the boxing world. Okay. There's the credibility and the acknowledgement through media outlets to your fans. There's that world of boxing. And then there's the real boxing world. What's in the gym. What's right is right. I have 2 belts. You're not actually ranked higher than me in our world. You might be ranked on ESPN higher than me. You might be ranked on social media. That's the different boxing world. And what I'm saying is this. Yeah. A lot of the fighting fans from the eye test, they think that Jaron Boots Ennis has the more skilled. And I'm telling you that Xander is not afraid to fight him. You just got to manage his career well. And since Jaron Boots Ennis has the people's vote, what's at stake here? Okay. Xander's looking for recognition as the best from the people and the boxing world, both. And if that road leads through Jaron Boots Ennis, well, then that's what he's going to have to do. The minute Xander took the responsibility of becoming a world champion, he put a target on his back. It's no more being a young man or saying whether or not he's ready. We're past that.
Yeah, he's the mandatory. Jaron is the mandatory. You got the WBA. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a slippery slope. The WBA is a real funny organization, and to call him the mandatory without anybody ever putting an official statement that Jaron Boots Ennis ever petitioned the WBA to fight Xander, I think these are just open negotiations.
Yeah, if
And
Boots really wanted to fight, he would petition
he would have
his
petitioned the
spot
WBA a
as the
long time
interim,
ago,
and
just
it would
like
happen. Hey,
Barboza did
Boogie
to
wants you to let
Tio.
him in.
And if
Barboza
you look
had
at
the
resume,
WBO interim, and Tio had the real belt, and the WBO sanctioned it, and
But
Tio accepted it.
Banks said to let him in.
You know what I mean? Oh shit,
yep.
Banks,
Okay, so yo,
got
check
you,
this out. So this guy right here,
Boogie.
right? If you break down the resumes,
Yep.
to me, in my opinion, Xander got a better resume than Boots because
Yeah,
because
we. Yeah.
he fought Patrick Teixeira on the come up.
Yep.
He beat two world champions. He's unified. He did rounds in there. He took his time developing. He got signed in well, good promoter since the age of 16. So he looks cool. He looks
Yeah.
so
Well,
very.
but Jaron Boots Ennis got. Even though Jaron Boots Ennis, you could sit there and say he Xander fought the better competition. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm not gonna argue. He might have smidged that one by, but let's be honest, brother. No matter how what that guy is, every time you go out there, the experience you gain with every fight. Jerron Boots Ennis has 35 fights with 31 knockouts. 31 knockouts. That means he only didn't knock out 4 people.
No, and he also has a no contest with Christopher Hearden.
Yes.
So the first
Okay.
belt that he won, and it was because of a cut. So he has a
I
no
know.
contest.
Yep. Right. So thank you. So he basically only let's recognize this that Ron Boots Ennis is a hard hitting, highly skilled American fighter. He has everything to be the next superstar in America. That's how high they're talking him up. So let's not ignore what Xander would be going up against and the challenge that Xander would be putting himself in. He would have to be recognized, and the world would have to recognize this that if Boots Ennis was to fall to Xander, the next day, what does that make Xander?
A pound for
You know
pound.
what's no, you know what's gonna happen? The boxing world's gonna turn around and say Jaron Boots Ennis never actually fought anybody. He actually was a
A
padded
hype
record
job.
guy. His record was padded. He never fought better competition than Xander, and he really wasn't that dude. And they're not going to give Xander any recognition and not call him the best one. You know what's going to happen? All of a sudden, Sebastian Fundora is going to become the number one off stopping Tim Tszyu. That is exactly what I believe will happen. Because you know it. When
But
has
Keith,
boxing, when,
I think
wait,
Keith could upset him because he had
okay,
problem. He went the distance with Carlos Ocampo, right? A limited fighter at best, a limited fighter. He went the distance with him, right? He got knocked out by Mendoza. Keith Thurman hasn't got knocked out. It looks like he's in the gym. He's doing a lot of world class sparring because he was sharp when he fought Jarvis, right? So he didn't show a lot too much ring rust in that fight.
yeah, but
So
you're not telling the story. You're dressing it up like Campos didn't hide his chin that whole time. Like the difficulty for a 6 foot guy to reach down and try to get unless you're fighting him. So learning to survive with a fight, Campos, what he did against, Fedor, like just because he didn't knock him out, but you really weren't fighting Fedor like that, opening him up, giving a lot. Now, what happens if you start to exchange with Sebastian Fundora? Take a look at Lubin's face. Take a look
he
at
looked
Tim
horrible,
Tszyu's
man.
face.
That was a massacre.
Okay?
Yep.
When you start, that's why. Just because this dude survived against him, he was literally hiding like this, his chin away from him. So
Okay.
you look, if you try to exchange with this giant, Flacco can crack. Bro, Lubin's mom did not recognize him.
Yeah, he had
She
a
said,
torn
"That's not my
retina.
son."
Yo, the guy had a torn retina. He was all messed up. They
Listen,
were trying to keep.
that was brutal to watch. When I literally saw his face, I cringed. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he was
Bro,
never the same after that. After that,
bro,
he
if
was never
you
the same.
beat me up like that, I'm going to the trunk in the car. Fuck that.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
But he did manage to drop him though. He dropped
yeah.
Pandora.
Well, hold on. Let me hold that thought, brother. Boogie, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
Yo, salute,
Salute.
Suleiman. Salute everyone on the panel. Uh, just wanted to find out if you could run that video I sent you, explaining the whole deal between the Zayas and Boots situation. I think it breaks it down. It tells exactly what's really going on behind the scenes. A lot of people don't understand that this is more of a business move than an actual. Let's get the best fighters together to fight,
Yeah.
and it would explain a lot what's going on.
I'm downloading it now. Hold on.
If you could play it, it's gonna explain a lot, man. Salute, Suleiman. I like your calls, brother. I like what you be saying
Appreciate it, brother.
sometimes. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'm logging in. Why is it I gotta do all this crap? All right. Me cago en la madre. Why it still made me do this? Come on, man. Don't leave no dead air. Nasty work, guys. Nasty work.
Yo, read the chat, nigga. What you doing, brother?
What's up, front? Oh my god, bro. Nasty work. Do not have my back. No. Don't have the guy that's writing in the code to lock in to follow what and crickets. You guys are just without me, man.
Hey,
You
yo,
guys can't
a
survive.
lot of people are also ignoring Josh Kelly, like he's not a champion.
Yep.
A lot of people don't even mention his name when they're
No,
both
Ed
when they're
Hearn's
both
doing a
signed
great job
when they're both signed
on.
under the same promotional company. Very easy to make that fight.
Yeah.
What fight is that? What fight is that?
That's
That
Josh
Josh
Kelly.
Kelly versus Jaron Boots Ennis.
Okay, but the problem with that Josh Kelly is that I heard that that guy Bakram wants to run it back. Bakram wants to run it back, and it wants a rematch. He
No
wants a rematch. So
rematch in that.
are
No,
they
there's no
doing
rematch in
negotiation?
that.
There's no rematch in that.
And
Or maybe Josh he just came
unifications
off that
trump.
fight too. Maybe they don't give him the training camp is not long enough.
Unless there
You
was
It's
don't
a
get a
gotta be.
rematch
rematch.
clause.
You don't get a rematch off a mandatory.
Unless there was a rematch clause,
No, you don't get a
unification
rematch on a
trumps
mandatory, dog. You get it
anything.
on a voluntary. On a
Okay.
mandatory is usually no rematch. You fought your mandatory. If you lose, bro. That's when Sabrina Matias lost with no rematch. Liam Paro lost with no rematch. We're talking about the IBF here. You don't get a rematch clause when it's a mandatory fight, dog, in the IBF.
Okay. Okay, we didn't know it's so complicated. These are sanctioning bodies.
Hmm?
What do you think? You think these guys could do the same thing with Zufa? You
What you
think they're
mean? What's
gonna
the
make
same
that
thing?
you think they're gonna right now like Turkey Al Sheikh? I'm pretty sure people have gone to him, and I'm pretty sure they went to Dana White already. And say he's gonna have to make a sanctioning body for Zufa, make it into a sanctioning body. Get a Park Avenue office or an office in the city. Get a couple of admins. Get a president. Hire a president for for them. Uh, Create a ranking system for the nine divisions that they have because they were supposed to have eight, but now that they gave this guy a belt, a cruiserweight, now they have nine. So I don't see it being that difficult for them to, and they have the money. They could do
Mm,
that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see them also creating a journalism team. Like this guy's more into like PR stuff and
mm,
IT. I would like to see him go into an AM station and do like a collabo with an AM station and make like for example a national syndicated show for boxing that not that we don't have to be streaming on these YouTubes anymore. We could be like in an AM station, like come into the thing and be a shock jock for professional boxing, man. We got all this talent being developed here on YouTube and it's going to waste. Like for example, like you got guys that are political journalists, you got guys that are talk show guys that are shock jocks. Why cannot we have a professional boxing shock jock? We need a professional boxing shock jock that could take this to the next level.
We
We
got
need
it
to
right
have a
here,
team.
Round One Sports
Right
Talk,
here.
Bob.
Yeah, but I know what
I'm
you're
on
saying.
that.
I know what you're saying, brother. But what I'm saying is, wouldn't you want to be part of an AM station? Wouldn't you want to have the backing, with the financial backing of a Turkey Al Sheikh, of a Zufa? Know
Of
what I'm
course,
saying?
but that's just like daydreaming. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not sure if
but
people
we
listen
got
to
to make
like
it
the
happen.
radio like that, but when you got social media so at your fingertips, but like a Howard Stern type setup, and
Yeah,
that's
that's what
kind of
I'm
like what
talking
I'm
about.
doing here, but with the backing. If I had like the crew and the people that had access to like all the information and they're telling me it in my earpiece and feeding me things and the way it works with the big guys,
Yeah,
like the
like for example, round one and friends, something like that, and then like you have like the right now they got a building in Manhattan. It's called the Revlon Building, right? It's on 10th Avenue and something like a dialed up studio, and then they have us dialed up. They have us dialed up. You know what I'm saying? Like they give you the treatment of a real shock jock, like they
yeah.
do to those guys.
All right, hold on, hold that thought, hold that thought. Okay, Boogie, listen to me. You want me to pay a video on my show that's 34 minutes long about you didn't bring me no timestamps?
The beginning, brother, the
Uh,
beginning. As soon as you play the video, it explains it. They're not cutting to no, they're cutting right to the chase, bro. It explains exactly what's going on.
like, hold on.
Come on, Boogie. Get your shit together.
Can you hear this?
No. Get your
You
shit
can't
together,
hear it?
Boogie. No. Did Boogie send you another fake
No,
video?
no. Hold on. Wait. All right. I'm not even sure I can like play these guys. These dudes are gonna copyright me. Boogie's gonna get me fucked up. I'm not even sure I can play this shit. Like, I don't know these dudes like that, but shout out to Sean Patel and
Sean
his
Patel. Yeah, Sean Patel.
his name is Zapet. I got a problem pronouncing Z's too. So shut up. All right, look. What is this? What is this? Okay. Wait, okay, YouTube right here. Boom.
Yo,
Nope.
Jean Zittles. Where you get Zittles from? Zittles to Patel.
Zatel. His name is Zatel. Sean Zatel,
Zittle.
something like that.
Zittle, like
Nah,
Skittles,
it's
but
not Zitto
Zittle.
like Skittles. No, I ain't never heard nobody call him that shit. Shout out to them. This is for educational purpose right here. I'm playing the interview to hear. Apparently, one of my subscribers want us to watch somebody else's channel because he's not impressed with my channel here. You know what I mean? So let's see.
Would potentially be taking on a huge challenge in Jaron Boots Ennis at the big room at Madison Square Garden, New York City. This would
Come on, man. What's going on?
Those are the videos that Boogie sent you. It's
Yeah.
Nigga,
be
that's
very
just
ambitious of Xander Zayas to take this challenge.
Look at it.
all that fucking
I'll give you
buffer.
some
The
of my
box.
opening thoughts, and then you take it from there.
Look at.
that's a connection issue, bro. It's not the video, bro.
See if we could bring it down in size. Hold up. No, it's just gonna go here.
Damn, Boogie.
Being
Look
rumored
at
for
that.
the middle of June is a
See.
unification bout. Well, the unified champion defending his belts. Xander Zayas, just 23 years old, the youngest unified champion in the sport, would potentially be taking on a huge challenge in Jaron Boots Ennis at the big room at Madison Square Garden, New York City. This would be very ambitious of Xander Zayas to take this challenge. I'll give you some of my opening thoughts, and then you take.
Jesus
Damn it.
Christ, Boogie.
Well, this is the video right here. And if you want to see it, you can see the full video in its entirety on his show. What is his show called again?
I don't know, but he's butchering Xander Zayas' last name anyway. He said Zayas.
Yeah,
Xander's
they even cut me
Zayas.
off. I don't think I can play this video. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna go back and check out that video myself. I want to see what Boogie and what they had to say. Sean there is well connected in the boxing world. He's been doing this for a very long time, and he is a very credible source. I actually stop in on his channel here and there to hear what he thinks about some topics, but not because you listen to everybody else, it could mess up what you think. Then all of a sudden you find yourself repeating what they're saying, and you're not actually doing your own thinking. So here at Round One Sports Talk, I like to keep it authentic, my real thoughts and how I see things. So, right now I'm seeing that Boogie, apparently he needs to get demoted back down to some kind of duty frontline, see where we could put him, figure it out. Okay. He only pops up to tell people to go to another show. Real nasty work. Real nasty work. But hey, it is what it is. Hey, yo, this fight right here is very interesting. The Jaron Boots Ennis situation with Xander. I gotta commend Xander if he's really thinking about taking this kind of challenge. And what it does for Xander, and it should do, that if Xander was to pass this kind of test, the boxing world, you will have to acknowledge him as the best 154 pounder. I don't want to hear after the fight, Virgil's the best 154 pounder. I don't want to hear that Virgil is.
You think he's gonna be like? Do you think
Huh?
he's gonna be another Trinidad? If he does that, he be from Puerto Rican history because Trinidad did stuff like that, right? When Trinidad was young.
Well, not yet. Not that far. He's nowhere near Trinidad yet. He needs a lot of work to pass Trinidad. First of all, you're going to need 19 title defenses in one division like Trinidad. That's going to be tough. But you can pass Trinidad because Trinidad only got to 2 belts. That's the furthest Trinidad got. So as far as accomplishments and getting 2 belts, they're tied. Now, Trinidad has 3 divisions. Xander just got 2. So he's got some work in front of him. You know what I mean? To do. But there is a way Xander can stamp his name among the legends in Puerto Rico. He already did it by unifying on the island. Trinidad never did that. No Puerto Rican champion has ever done that. So he's squeaking into the room in Puerto Rican boxing history as far as us as an island goes. So he's right there. The way he can get next to Trinidad without have to and have 19 title defenses, get that 3rd belt. That's it. No Puerto Rican fighter in boxing history has gotten that 3rd belt. That's all Xander got to do. You get that 3rd belt. I don't care where you get it from. Either Josh Kelly or the winner of Sebastian Fundora and one time Keith Thurman. You fight one of them. After, of course, beating Jaron Boots Ennis. He would have to get past that obstacle, it seems. It seems like we're headed in that direction. So I'm reading the landscape. This is what the young man would actually have to do. But
the easiest route would be Josh Kelly, right? The
huh?
easiest route will be Josh Kelly, right?
The easiest fight would be Josh Kelly. No.
Yeah.
No.
It'd be easier than there's a Fandora, right? No, I'm talking about for the third belt. If he beats Jaron.
Yeah. In a weird way, no. In a weird way, it's crazy for me to think this way, but Josh Kelly brings a different fight to Xander's doorstep. Sebastian Fundora would be a puzzle. It would be a fight of endurance, forward aggression, trying to nullify some of Sebastian's qualities by not staying on the inside. It's going to be a real battle type fight for Xander. It won't be that fight of skill where both fighters are slipping shots, countering. It's going to be a more of a fortitude, real, getting in there and getting your shots. With Josh Kelly, that's going to be a boxing match. That's going to be a different fight for Xander. Josh Kelly is slick. He's slick. He's crafty. Josh Kelly's no slouch. He's got good footwork, a good jab. And the one thing Josh Kelly got on his side is confidence. He don't think he can. He's a pretty boy that got skills. And Josh Kelly's full of himself. He believes in that style he has. And why shouldn't it? It won him an IBF title. That's a different fight for Xander. Xander's not going to box with Fundora. And in a weird way, Josh Kelly might be a tougher fight than Sebastian Fundora in the sense of the sweet science. The Fundora fight is just going to be a test of will, power, fortitude. It's going to test Xander's gas tank. It really is. But that Josh Kelly fight, I'm no fool. Josh Kelly can fight. I'm not naive to his skin color.
He's thinking top heavy too, right? He's top heavy. He got a big chest on him. He's muscular.
And Josh Kelly was flowing. He had Bakram frustrated. Bakram just wanted to hit him. He was like, stay still. Like, stay still long enough for me to hit you. And Josh Kelly was like, slip, boop, 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 boop. Josh Kelly was putting it on him. He got caught in the fight. I saw that. He got dropped. That was legit. But he's got a chin. He took the punch. He absorbed it well. Here's this boogeyman in Bakram that's supposed to be a devastating puncher. And Josh Kelly took that away from him. He left him, if you're going to beat me, well, then you're going to have to outbox me. And Josh Kelly fought a brilliant game plan against Bakram, and he kind of made Bakram look bad, if I'm being honest.
Hey, Edwin, real quick, off topic, shout out to Gamachito. He just posted Dalton Smith versus Puello official for June 6th in Sheffield.
You see, didn't I say them June fights are going to start rolling in? They're going to start filling in that June slot because there was no fights listed for June. And that's a hot fighting month. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, we're going to see who they're going to put in that slot. There you go. There's one. So that's for June 6th?
According to Gamachito, June 6th, and it's in Sheffield.
Okay.
Bakram got robbed. Shut up, Boogie. He got his ass whooped. He was outpointed in that fight easy.
For 12 rounds.
He got nobody to blame by himself too. His inactivity, bro. He was sitting on the sofa for a year. Plus.
That's on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very inactive.
So that's why I think that boxing's unique in a lot of ways, but I know that a lot of people have a habit of repeating one-liners in boxing. and not actually know what they actually are saying. Like you'll hear things like, "I want to see the best fighting the best," or "There's weights for reasons," or you'll hear these, these one-liners in boxing, and styles make fights. You hear it all the time, but do you really know what that means?
And you know what's hilarious? A lot of these guys love commentating about boxing, but they don't actually watch the fight. They don't watch
No,
the
they
fight.
don't.
They don't. They don't
No,
spend
they
time.
don't. They
They
want to
spend
watch
more time in
highlights.
they spend more time talking boxing than watching the fights. Like I actually
Yeah.
saw all those fights this weekend, and I was impressed, man. But this guy looks a little more like a stalker, right?
Who? You're
He
breaking
looks
up.
like
Lester
Lester
Martinez?
Martinez. Yeah, he looks like a stalk. He stalks the opponent too much, right? What do you think?
Well, okay. He was criticized because it didn't look like the same Lester Martinez that had the intensity against Billy. And it showed that the person that was pushing the pace in that fight was Billy. And Lester Martinez was keeping up with him. Now, a lot of people felt that if he had that same intensity, he would have packed this guy up. He was hitting him with some big shots. He had him staggered, wobbled in the fight. But they felt like he didn't step on the gas. He played it more cautious. And I feel like, in a way, for me, you got to understand the sweet science. When you went through a war like that with Billy, your next fight, if this guy is not worth the war, he's not really worth going in there and taking unnecessary shots if I'm just schooling them from here. So boxing fans got to understand that when they're watching these fights, you got to understand the situation too. Not every single time every fighter is as skilled to deliver the knockout you crave. I get it. But I think maybe, unless when I'm sitting here breaking it down right now, hear myself talk, I'm saying to myself, maybe he felt like this guy's not worth the war, the unnecessary shots. I'm going to save that for the big fight. So I'm going to put it in cruise control. I'm going to whoop his ass. I'm going to get out of here with the victory. Little bit of damage, but not that war like I did with Billy. So can you agree to that?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That sounds fair.
So in that sense, now that I'm breaking it down with you, we're talking about it, I'm starting to realize maybe Lester was like, and Bomac was like, you know what? Yeah, you could put this guy away, but why risk it? Why put yourself through that fire? You're whooping his ass. Let's just get in here, get the win. Let's get out of here. You got bigger fights that I need you to show up in, like you did in the Billy fight. So, and do you think that the right decision was read after the Lester Martinez and Billy fight? Or did you see a winner?
Well, I thought Martinez won the fight. In my opinion, I think Martinez won the fight because Martinez
Really?
was
You're not
controlling the
being
pace.
biased
But
right
this
now?
No, I wasn't being biased. And then this guy was lashing out. He was game. He was very game. Christian Billy was very game. He kept coming back, but the man was initiating the touches. He was controlling the pace. The other one was countering, right, coming back, but he was
Mm,
getting the pace, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But maybe
hmm
that impressed the judges, but because Christian Billy kept coming back, he was game. You know what I'm saying? And
I think
I
they
don't
both had
know.
their moments, but the real pace of the fight was set by Christian and Billy. And I think
But
he brought the fighter out of Lester. When have you ever seen Lester Martinez fight it? Name me one fight that he fought like that in.
well,
One
the
fight.
opponent. the opponent made you fight. But the probably one thing I noticed too, where Martinez should have landed more heavier shots. He should have mixed it up.
I'm not
He
gonna
should have
sit
worked.
here and I'm not gonna say he should have did this or should have did that. I'm not gonna go down that road. I'm just
Okay.
by what happened, what actually happened. I'm not gonna open that can of worms. I'm gonna say that. Look, I'm on the line that we see these fights from these guys, and I'm critical on fighters, but I also give fighters their space sometimes. For instance, was I not the one that told you don't hold Devin Haney to that fight with Jose? Don't hold him to that. Don't hold Ryan Garcia to that fight with Rolly. I have receipts. I told you. I says
Yep.
fighters go through this. They have these kind of performances where boxing is actually checking them.
And they have to acclimate. They have to acclimate. Like
And check this
they
out.
were acclimated to different weight classes. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
that's
acclimated to
but
one.
but boxing calls you on your bullshit. When you yourself know as a boxer, you really didn't do everything you needed to do. But you got up on the mic and said, I had my best training camp. I'm in shape. I run 10 miles a day. And then he goes out there and runs like Ryan Garcia did against Rolly because he didn't have the gas tank. His body wasn't responding. So you weren't in shape like you claimed you were. And I said, everybody, no, 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 no. That's 1 year ring rust with a kid just getting over $20 million. He didn't stay disciplined. And boxing called him on his bullshit. So when he went back to the drawing board, what did it do to Ryan? It made him do some soul searching. Ryan sat down after that Rolly loss, and he knew he was a better fighter than Rolly, but he knew he didn't give it everything. And then when you saw him in the Mario Barrio fight, you saw Ryan show up. You saw a better in shape, focused, driven Ryan Garcia that shut his mouth and allowed himself to be trained. You see the difference. You see when boxing will call you on your bullshit. You as a fan, you want to make excuses for your fighter, go ahead. But recognize what you see. You understand? So
Yeah.
that's what I think that in some of these situations, yeah, boxing has called these fighters on their bullshit. And we got us. I told you, don't hold these fighters sometimes to some of these performances. Sometimes they got their asses whooped, but sometimes I see he's a better fighter. What else could have? Oh, you were fucking around. You were claiming you were jogging, but you weren't. You were claiming you were training, but you weren't. So it can go two ways, either inward or you can grow from it. And I think that Devin would have and Ryan did. And what I'm telling you, just don't hold some of these performances to these guys and think, oh, he's either trash or whatever. No. Um, styles make fights. As you can see, Tevin Farmer went to war with William Cepeda. And Schofield walked out there and starched him. Schofield. And he showed that power, speed, you were built for a war. Yeah, you can do that. He brought a different style to the fight and starched them. You got to pay attention when you're watching these fighters. Some styles are not good for that fighter. And some managers and some people will come out and just straight up say it. This is not a good style for him. So not every fighter is an elite fighter. And in boxing, as fans, I think we confuse that. You start talking up one guy and you say, well, if he can't do it, nah, bro. Everybody's not in the 1%. Everybody's not Terrence Crawford. Everybody's not Shakur. Everybody can't make those kind of adjustments. The rest of the guys are on this level. They're great. They're champions. But Navarrete can't do that. Rolly can't do that. There are champions that are champions. They can't do that shit. But we talk them up like they're the Terrence. If Terrence can do it, then he can do it. That's not how fighting works. You can't fight all styles. You don't got those kind of skills. But you still got skills to be a champion. But you got to be managed. You have to be managed. You can't keep putting Rolly in with Tank Davis, Devin Haney, freaking Shakur Stevens. He's not going to get past that gauntlet. He's not that no, those styles are really wrong for him. And although in today's era, what does that say? Oh, he's a duck. He's not him. Well, everybody's not him. Everybody doesn't possess those kind of fighting capabilities. They might be champion material, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody's Shakur. Shakur's in a 1% of boxing. What percent is Rolly? Just ask yourself. No, he shouldn't be in Shakur conversations. No. And see, styles make fights because, ironically, Shakur's all wrong for Rolly. But Devin's exciting. It's a different fight. Devin is not Shakur, and Shakur is not Devin. They fight completely different. Completely different. There's nothing about Devin that Shakur does. It might kind of look the same, but when you start to break it down in technical, it's far off. They are far off. They might look good in speed and athletic movement. Don't get that confused with real boxing and a real style. They're not the same. And Rolly and Devin would be a different fight than Rolly and Shakur. Shakur's all wrong for Rolly. All wrong. That's a bad fight. That's a really bad fight for Rolly. But Devin, that might be an interesting one. I still think Devin beats him, but it'll be a lot different. Trust me. It'll be a little scary moments for Devin there. Yeah, it will be. And that's why Rolly looked so bad against Isa Pitbull Cruz. That was a bad matchup for Rolly. That was a bad matchup. Isa was an inside hook fighter. He doesn't use a jab. And Rolly tries to meet you with the jab. Isa came over it. That was a really bad matchup for Rolly. Yeah, he made him look bad. So, yeah, that's what I talk about, guys. But anyway, listen, guys, I want to go on to day 2 as well, maybe 7:30. So you guys tune in, lock in here at Round 1 Sports Talk. And if you have any comments, any topics, or you want to add more to this topic about Jaron Boots Ennis and Xander, what this means for the 154, where is Josh Kelly going to fight? We know who Sebastian Fundora is going to fight, and one-time Keith Thurman. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts, and there's going to be a lot of fights on the 28th, this Saturday. In fact, I believe there's 5 fight cards on that day. Earlier in that day, you're going to have Moses Thomas fighting Franklin, right?
Moses Ituma.
Huh?
Moses Ituma.
Moses Atuma. Atama.
Yeah.
These guys, everybody says his name wrong, different. In different announcers, they say it different. I be seeing him. But I like that guy. I like that kid.
He got power. He got speed.
He's got talent. He's talented for that young, for a heavyweight. The shit he's doing, The dude's like all of 20 years old. I like him. He's promising. I want to see him again. I want to see him. So, but fight fans, we have a long day of boxing on the 28th. I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna choose. There's gonna be some that I don't watch, and there'll be some that we watch or coincide with the other card. So it's a long day there. So yo, join us. Lock in. We're gonna be covering this one time Keith Thurman fight. Absolutely. And I would like to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys have any comment about any of the fight topics, any of your picks, who do you got in the fight, leave it in the comments below. And I will see you on the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys be good to yourselves. You guys have been amazing. Suleiman, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
And it's always a pleasure. So
I
have a
appreciate
great
it,
day,
my brother.
man.